Privacy hidden in the electric mist. Garbled circuits in a tight knotted twist. Ethereum's heart pumping in the vein. Fastest, lightest like lightning through the brain. NPC whisper secrets in the code. Scaling mountains where no one has strode. DeFi wonders bloom in the cyber cloud. Fastest system, light as air. Private roads going everywhere. Building futures in the stream. Layer 2 rides the blockchain dream. AI dances in the quantum glow. Scalable promises let the future show. Transactions flying faster than sight. Silent power in the digital sea. Privacy roaring for you and me. A revolution bound by the key. Garbled circuits set our minds free. Fastest system, light as air. Private roads going everywhere. Building futures in the stream. Layer 2 rides the blockchain dream.
What's up, guys, and welcome to episode 31, season 2. Welcome back to COTI Confidential. After a couple weeks break, we're here with Soren, Minnesota, and Carpathian Node. What's up, guys?
Hey, what's up?
How you
Hey,
doing,
guys.
Maurice? Good to finally get you on COTI Confidential. We've been waiting a long time for this one.
Very, very happy to be here. Very happy to be here, and nice to see you finally in real person,
In the flesh.
in the flesh. Yeah,
Yeah, no,
So-
we've had a couple of weeks off to recharge our batteries. Tracer has been jet skiing and showing off his skills to half of Canada. So
wow. Yeah.
So, as we usually do our intros, I'm going to hold that until after the weekly update. I'm also going to welcome Eli to the show. What's up, man? How are you doing?
Hey, Eli.
How you guys doing?
Yeah, good and you?
Not too bad, not too bad.
So let's jump right into the update, and then we'll do a whole bunch of intros after that.
No problem. Yeah. So you know, we've had a couple of updates since we were last live on air, but we will just stick with this week's weekly update. So quite clear that community sentiment is at an all-time low. Markets are shit. People are upset, yelling and screaming, and throwing out all sorts of curses and nasty words in all directions. And we're getting things like, we're going to zero. It's the team's fault. Nobody cares about privacy. It's the tokenomics. easy one. It's Vitalik's fault for not mentioning COTI, and that's just to mention a few. There's been quite a few very personal ones as well, which is not nice at all. But this is frustration, and everyone gets that, and totally understandable. We're all keen to see the project do well. We're all keen to see the price do well, and so the markets are given a good beating to everything that's not Bitcoin or Ethereum. It took me. I looked for an example the other day, and it didn't take me long. It took me a couple of minutes. So I took the example of Algorand. Very well run project. More than 100 partnerships just in the RWA vertical. I mean, we would kill for just half of that. Yet Algorand is down 93% from all-time high. So I think that's probably a little bit more than we are, or maybe around about the same. So not to otherwise compare Algorand with COTI, because they are much bigger than us, and they're doing lots of other things that we're not doing. So there's not much to compare, other than the fact that the sort of price circle is the two charts are literally a carbon copy of each other. So if we're going to spell this out, basically, here's what happens. Here's what's happening. The markets have realized and recognized Bitcoin as a store of value, as a hedge against a failing dollar. Normally, that's the job of gold. Now you can hedge with gold and with Bitcoin. You got treasuries popping up everywhere. You got ETFs. You got companies putting Bitcoin on their treasury balance sheets, etc., etc. Next came Ethereum, recognized as the place where the next generation of financial systems are going to be built, and it's the same story. And Ethereum, on top of this, is the preeminent home of the number one killer case in crypto, which is stable coins. Most of the stable coins are on Ethereum in terms of volume. And it's the same modus operandi with ETFs and treasury companies and all that stuff. And this is where we are now. So we're stuck in all this, along with hundreds of other solid projects. And all we can really say, I don't know, people get tired of listening to this, but this is really where you need to pay attention. Yeah, COTI has a good plan, and they're executing it not one step at a time, but several steps at a time. They're not oblivious to the markets and the price. They want to see the token price do well. They want to see COTI get a more prominent position in the market, but they're not controlled by it. They get up every day and they do their work, and they don't look too much at token prices. They don't think about token prices when they do this or do that. But doesn't mean they don't want everything to go well. So, to give you an example, Shahaf was on about it the other day. In the coming 3 months, COTI will launch 3 world firsts. A private perpdex, which is already running with Privex, is going to add the privacy layer. You're going to have MetaMask with privacy integrated. It's the biggest wallet in crypto, and they're going to have Garble circuits integrated via Snap. So the status on that is we're waiting for MetaMask to list it in their app store. And a private stablecoin, which is basically private jet. So new partnerships are coming online from a grassroots level. We're drowning in grant applications. COTI Ship and Vlad, poor guys, almost can't keep up. But to remind you that every grant approved is basically a project to be launched, and this is at a grassroots level. At the top, you got guys like Shahaf and Joshua and others who are sitting at all the right tables, talking to the big cheeses, having all the right discussions in Middle East, Africa, Southeast Asia, US, and Europe. So I know you're tired of hearing the you need patience thing, but this is really the only medicine right now. Everyone here has been licking their lips and screaming for institutional involvement for many years. Yeah, now you got it. Don't complain. Yeah, when you got institutions running the market as opposed to retail investors, you get this sort of thing. You get markets that are being obviously manipulated. You're getting the route of maximum pain, and it's like this every single time. You can talk to experienced stock market traders and commodities traders. They'll all tell you the same story. So that's that part of it. The second part of the weekly update is this misconception, and this is quite important. There's this misconception that the project's only savior is to be selected by the European Central Bank for the Digital Euro project. Yeah, this is completely the wrong way of looking at it. And I know before I even open my mouth on this that the fraudsters are going to have a field day. Yeah. If I'm ultra bullish, I am just a naive, paid-for mouthpiece of COTI. And if I'm anything less than bullish or trying to be realistic about things, then I'm basically being accused of cushioning, starting to cushion people for the blow that comes when we don't get selected. But my honest opinion on this is you gotta be pragmatic about these things. We have a superior technology. The banks know garbled circuits, not the current version, but they know the old version. And we are clearly getting some interest from the BIS that coordinates all this. We do talk to them, I wouldn't say on a regular basis. I don't think we're talking to them on a regular basis, but we do talk to them from time to time. And we're obviously still involved in both the ECB and the Bank of Israel project. But when you look at these big projects, you got to look at what you call the contract chain. And in this case, the European Central Bank, they're probably about 95% of the way there with the blueprint for the digital euro. They could probably launch it now if they had to. But that's not what's going to happen. They basically have to put everything in front of the European Parliament, which is 27 countries, each with their own national interests. And I want to remind everyone that the European Parliament is the same European Parliament that in 1988 legislated on the maximum curvature for class 1 cucumbers. All right, so they actually put a legislation through that was designed to make sure you grew only straight cucumbers, not bent cucumbers. And this is a bit funny, of course, but it also tells you that you can expect anything when you have 27 countries, each with their own national interest that they want to get through. It's a little bit like you have any bill that gets passed in the U.S. Congress has a lot of pork attached to it. So basically, senators with their local constituencies who want to get stuff in for their people. So whilst I'm very bullish on garbled circuits being the premier technology for CBDCs, we also got to realize that there's a lot of other things at play, and lots of this we can't control. Yeah, if we get selected, of course, it's a game changer for COTI. It's massive. It's huge. We can't argue about that. But if we don't get selected, there are lots of other central bank digital currencies. There are lots of other bigger, multi-billion-dollar opportunities out there in Southeast Asia, in US and Europe, everywhere. The stuff we're doing with Middle East and Africa, if we get selected for something in Saudi, people are going to go nuts about these things because they know there's a lot of money behind. So it is, talking about it is a little bit of a no-win situation for me, but I'm going to do it anyway because I think people need to understand that it's not an all or nothing for COTI. And if you think like that, you're going to stress yourself way too much. Yeah, it's not healthy for you. You need to have a little bit of pragmatism for these things, and it's our job to try and educate a little bit and try and help you a little bit with this. So that was the weekly update, guys.
Awesome as always, man. Thank you so much. You guys know Minnesota, you guys know Eli, but who you may not know is Maurice from Carpathian Node. So why don't we do a quick, lightning round? Introduce
Introduce yourself,
and then you can tell us why you're here.
Yes, sure.
We'll get a couple boys.
I don't know where it's coming from. Oh, it's gone.
Let's try that now.
Yeah, good. Yeah, so sure. So I'm Morris. I'm the, let's say, leader of the Carpathian node, which was actually the first community node on COTI in COTI V1. So we started this node after community voting, and we became actually the first node on COTI V1. I think it was early 2021. But we came in principle from Tron blockchain, where we have a project called Baby Turu, which we started also in 2021. And these two worlds were kind of living next to each other. So we had our activity in Tron, and we had our activity on COTI by running the node. And then when COTI V2 launched with the, let's say, very fast blockchain, with very low fees, with a good track record, I would say, and with the treasury in the background, we thought this is the moment to actually bridge these two worlds and bring Baby Turu to COTI. And that's how we kind of created the Baby Turu Community World Tour NFT project, which is kind of a DeFi NFT project where the community we have on Tron with Baby Turu can, let's say, get benefits from our activity in COTI. So if you look at our NFTs, which we have created, these are all either generated by our community members or are actually, as we call them, single mints created by a specific artist. That, for example, is one of our Millionaire Club members. And our artist has created a bird to the liking of that Millionaire Club member. So it's one of the guys who holds 1 million Baby Turu or more on Tron Network. We created this NFT for him. He holds this NFT and he earns passive income with that. And now that this NFT has been minted on COTI as well, he will start earning passive income on COTI as well. So we kind of try to always stick with our community and bring solutions on board, which then help the community. Well, and this one, which you are showing right now, the card, this is something where we are really eagerly awaiting Crafter for a marketplace, because we have, let's say, an NFT-based game, fully developed, fully ready to go. But in order to play with that game, we need a marketplace on COTI. And once the marketplace is there, soon after we will launch this game, which will again benefit. Thank you, Jan, for your comment on my T-shirt. Moon will come sometime soon. So as soon as this project is launched, it will again benefit our Baby Turu NFT holders, because in principle, everything what we do creates passive income and creates passive income for the people in our community. And I think for that, COTI is a great network. And just to connect to what you said earlier, Søren, it's not only ECB, it's the DeFi. I see a lot of opportunity in DeFi on COTI, because if you have a private chain with close to zero fees, I think these are two major ingredients for a DeFi setup. And that combined with the treasury, how it will look like in Treasury 2. So we are really also looking forward to Treasury 2. That combined with the marketplace, that combined with privacy, that combined with low fees, that combined with high transaction volumes, which can go through the chain. I think these are key ingredients for a DeFi solution and a DeFi setup. And that's what we try to do. We try to create funny stuff, but in principle, it's DeFi. So our Community World Tour NFTs is DeFi. If you hold one of these NFTs, you will get regular rewards. We already send out 3 times reward for the holders, because we put a lot of the revenue in our treasury. We put some extra G-COTI in it ourselves to boost up these APIs, and the holders are really enjoying the APIs here. So that's kind of in a little 5 minutes or 2 minutes introduction of myself and the 2 projects I'm involved with.
Awesome. Well, guess who's here, guys? Let me bring him in. There he is. Crafter's co-founder.
Ah.
Yeah. What's up, man?
Yo, what's up? How's everyone?
Hey, Jan, how are you?
I'm
Good.
doing good. What's up?
Well,
Well,
we're
I
waiting
guess,
for
you know.
we're waiting for you to tell us what's up. How's it going with the marketplace? I can hear Maurice has already got 20 ideas for how to use your marketplace, so you better get a move on.
Yeah, we got a little pressure from the community for the past weeks or month. We know for sure there is quite a lot of projects waiting for the marketplace to be available, and we're super excited about it because we obviously are thrilled to see all those projects come to life and be tradable on the marketplace. And about the marketplace, everything is going good. We had some pain points in the developments around some things, but everything is being resolved, and we are on the last line before the finish of the marketplace. So we are super happy and super excited about the marketplace being released.
Good. We can't wait. And I mean, before I say anything else, let me just confirm, because I own one of the baby Turos and I'm getting the payments that Maurice mentioned. I am earning passive income from Maurice's NFT/treasury model. So I just want to confirm that what he says is true. And I'm totally excited, Maurice, about these things, how you try and connect so many different things and create all this extra utility. We got a lot of great NFT creators in our community who are great at doing NFTs, but maybe are having a little bit less experience on how to combine it with DeFi. So I think things like what you're doing is going to inspire other community members.
Mhm.
And of course, Jan is providing something which is sorely needed, which is the NFT marketplace. That is really, really exciting.
Yeah. Yeah, no, we are really looking forward to that. And one thing which I want to add as well, what we did in our NFT collections and what we will also do with the new project when we launch it is what we call the white glove solution, which actually allows people outside of COTI to buy the NFTs either on Ethereum, Binance Smart Chain, Polygon, Base, BitTorrent, or Tron, and they can buy it with the native tokens on these blockchains. And then we will send to their EVM wallet address the NFT plus one COTI so that they can start experiencing COTI. And that's the way how we try to pull people from other blockchains also into the COTI blockchain. And in the last Series 2, we now have 20 NFTs minted, and 3 out of them came through either Ethereum or Matic. Polygon, sorry, new name.
Amazing. And you know, these are exactly the sort of things that the other NFT creators in COTI community, they need to pay attention to these things, because there are lots of ways to proliferate interest in your NFT collection. So, you know, on the creative side, no issue. These people, they do amazing work, but this is really something that's useful, I think, for them to understand how to also proliferate it and make it multi-chain. So Jan, a couple of weeks away, would you say?
Well, yeah, I know I previously said about between the end of September to start of November to release the marketplace. Lately, things are going pretty well, so I guess it will be more between end of September to end of October, maybe, top. So yeah, we're pretty happy about how the development go fast lately, and basically everything works. We need to just combine everything together, and not to brag about it, but I'm really happy about the design and the user experience of the marketplace, and it's way better than like mainnet Codiscan to see the NFT collection and everything. So I'm pretty happy about it. Obviously, it's not like an OpenSea level, because we all need to keep in mind that like we are 2 developers, we are not a team, and we have jobs, so it takes time. But I'm pretty happy with the results so far.
Well, if Crafter so far is anything to go by, I think we're all going to be very pleased. I mean, I tried the other day when I bought one of Maurice's new NFTs, and the experience was just as smooth as before. Yeah, I couldn't say a bad word about it, to be honest.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, and I have to say the technical support, because when we had our first series, we had some technical challenges as well. But the technical support we got from the crafter team to set it up and to create that first collection was really, really good. And that was also a really good experience. And I think it's very important not just only to look at your user interface, but also support the projects on your platform to get an easy landing. And here I have to really recommend a crafter with the work they did and the support they gave.
Thank you
And
very
they trained me
much.
so well that I could do the second by myself.
Thank you very much, and we do not forget Rix, which is my co-worker on this adventure, and he's working relentlessly in the shadows, but his efforts are tremendous for crafters. So thanks to him too.
Excellent. We also got Eli in Minnesota here, two of our most prominent members of the US community. Well, we also got Tracer, who's also part of the soon-to-be US community.
Let's go.
Let's go. So
I'll teach you the words of the Star Spangled Banner.
So
we know it.
Eli, I know Eli,
it.
you and I have had some chats about you starting now to have now you can, in a calm and collected fashion, you can start to have a look at earning some proper passive income on your COTI. How's it going with that?
It's good. I locked up a little bit. I'm kind of waiting for the market to turn around a little, which I think should happen, shortly. But having some stake COTI is nice, just to wait out the next cycle.
And the process wasn't. Was there anything in the process that we should be aware of?
No, you actually gave me a really nice step-by-step process that worked out pretty good for me. I don't use MetaMask a whole lot, so that was a little bit of a struggle for me at first. I just don't mess with a whole lot of Ethereum projects, so I had to dust off my MetaMask wallet and get some stuff transferred from Coinbase over. But it actually went pretty smooth. So I'm hoping that eventually Coinbase starts supporting V2 because they're still lacking there, but
yeah, there's still a couple of the big exchanges that we need to get get complete.
But it's fine.
So there's basically two ways you can continue. If you're a US holder, you will most likely have the ERC20 COTI. And you can log into the treasury using the Ethereum network, and you can stake your ERC20 COTI. It's very straightforward going in. However, if you want to take your COTI back out, it may not be so straightforward, because you may have to bridge it out, and that's when you run into a daily limit of 25,000 COTI. So it's actually better to convert your COTI to V2 up front. And then use the MetaMask. It's in and out, no bridge, no limits, no nothing, and it's mostly a very, very smooth process. What do you also, Fraser? You're a little bit quiet today.
Well, this is what we've been asking for, right? Is having a full room, right? So I'm an observer and I'm enjoying it. It's not about what we want to say. It's interesting hearing about. Well, first of all, what's being built on COTI, but from our U.S. counterparts here, right? So I'm just sitting observing.
I will say that the United States is now opening the possibility of access to platforms like Binance. So we're not going to be stuck with just Kraken and Coinbase. So we're going to have, hopefully in the near future, full access to the world's markets. We'll see how that goes.
And how's your experience been, Minnesota? Have you or have you always been staking just using VPNs and stuff, or have you also had to go in and learn?
It's been smooth. There's been a couple hiccups with some delays and some transactions. I know that's been a community sticking point. I did what Eli did, except I walked a friend through it. He's been a ERC20 holder, and we had him do test bridges just to make sure it worked. And unfortunately, one of his bridges got stuck. And he's like Eli. He doesn't like to do the MetaMask ETH thing, but he was completely surprised at how cheap it was now compared to a few years ago. And I think that's what turned a lot of people off of MetaMask and dealing with ETH is the price. And I would imagine the price will go back up when the market goes back up, but we'll see. It's flowing. I'm staking. I'm making the passive income in the COTI and the COTI rewards. That's nice. I'm just folding them back in, or like I think I just bought a baby Turu V2 just now. I don't know if it came through yet, but yeah, we'll see. I'll show you if it comes through.
Yeah, and that's honestly that's why I would always recommend people that convert your ERC20 to V2. That's your first step. Yeah, because then if there is a little bit of pain, you get it up front with stock transactions and things like that can happen. Because once it's the new native V2 COTI, that integration with MetaMask is super smooth. I never have any issues with it. Goes very, very well. If I have issues, they're not on the MetaMask side. It'll be on the treasury side. And COTI is very well aware that basically what happened was they sort of built the V2 treasury on top of on the ruins of the V1 DAG. So they were picking and choosing which things from the DAG time they could keep and which things they had to, so a bit of a mismatch. And Shahab has said as much as that's a do-over. So they're building a new treasury from scratch that will have no elements of the DAG or anything like that in it. So hopefully that experience will be a lot smoother. But the whole MetaMask integration with all parts, really, with Crafter, with Privex, with Carbon DeFi. I know, Minnesota, you're a heavy user of Carbon DeFi. And I'm a big user of Privex, and super smooth all the time, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The only mistakes that I find with Carbon are my mistakes. That's it.
Yeah, at first it's a little bit complicated, I would say, but once you get into it, it starts to get really nice to work with.
Yeah. Yeah, so I think these things, they work very well, and I'm a little bit like Eli. I'm not a huge fan of MetaMask. I had already one wallet drained way back when, so I'm not a big fan of it. But
there he is.
it does work. It is smooth, and day to day, it's nice and easy.
That's me on Ibis on the Ibis.
That's your new NFT, Minnesota.
There you go. I love it. Yep. I just thanks, Tracer, for putting that up.
So one comment here, because we were talking about US and access to COTI. So in our team, we are originally 4 people, and 2 of them are from US, and they have actually been staking in COTI since 2021, because we set up a kind of limited company together based in Europe. And through that, with their share of that company, they could stake on COTI for years. And that was kind of the solution. we set up for them when we founded the Carpathian node in 2021.
So
That's
do you
awesome.
intend also, Maurice, do you intend to run the V2 nodes, or are you already running?
I'm already running it, and
there's a dozen of them right now, yeah?
yeah, so I'm running it, and I'm really looking forward to that new treasury. And as a node, we are very active engaging with projects, seeing to pull them in. So one of them is the other Hungarian-based project, which Minnesota referred to earlier. So that one, we had a communication. They will put their treasury on our node, and we will have some kind of cooperation there. So we are trying to really, once it's possible, to really customize the treasury in a way to support projects who are staking on our node. But we still are looking for information how the treasury V2 actually will look like. And that's also like the baby tours. They will be on the Carpathian node. And then it depends a little bit how it looks like, but we can also give some other benefits to stakers with working with these type of projects. So we are really looking how we can optimize by not just being a technical node runner, but by also bringing, adding something to the community. And we do that in Tron as well. So there we are a super representative candidate. So we really try to combine these things a little bit together. Yeah, well, that's the treasury level currently for the community world tour. So once, yeah.
So Maurice, you're going to run a node. Tracer, you're going to run a node. What about you, Minnesota, and Eli? And Jan, what are you guys thinking?
Before I answer that, Soren, I think what Maurice just said was exactly how Shahaf envisions the community node system to run. You get to your individual. You can onboard any marketplace. You can onboard any project into your node, right? And set up token distributions or whatever. You're almost like a layer 3 kind of.
Yep, exactly.
Right. So I think that's great.
I don't know if it's a layer 3, but here's what I do know. Shah's gonna love all that stuff coming out from Maurice, because you're absolutely right. Shah wants us to run with this and start coming up with clever things for it. Yeah. That's the whole idea, and that's great. Eli, are you thinking about node running, or is that a bridge?
I would probably delegate somebody else. I just don't have the time or the technical skills anymore to do that. I would rather outsource my stake.
Yeah. What about you, Jan?
Yeah, I guess it's also a matter of time right now, because we got other stuff to do. So nodes are not our priority right now, but maybe not on a personal base, but maybe we will take into account nodes and Crafter as a single entity. So we may see some use case for having a node related to Crafter, but it's all theoretical. So no, right now, no, but maybe later.
Okay.
Yeah, Soren, I didn't mean to say it was going to be like an L3. I didn't even know if there was an L3, but it's its own little ecosystem.
I know what you mean. Yeah, I just don't. I'm not smart enough for that whole L2, L3 thing. So but I know exactly what you mean, and I think this is exactly the sort of thing that Shahaf had in mind. That people come up with all sorts of novel ideas that can be integrated into this whole bespoke treasury model. So he's absolutely going to love some of these ideas. What you're seeing on screen is Tracer's node. Yeah. How long you been running your node for now, Tracer? From day one of V2, right?
Yeah, so that's what I was going to say. So I've been running with Morris since day one, but I did recently make some changes in terms of providers and stuff. So that's why you're seeing only the small uptime here of a few days.
Yeah.
So I did just make some changes, but that happened, all at once. I had 2 running, and then took the first one down when I got whitelisted. But we are looking forward to everybody having access to those NFTs and being able to spin up a bunch of nodes. It's going to be interesting. The individual, or I guess the node runners treasury system. It's going to be really interesting to see how that shakes out, and how easy it is to move from one node to the other. It's going to be interesting to see what kind of liquidations people offer, how they spin their fees. I'm really excited to see it. I think it's going to be really, really competitive in the first days.
Yeah.
So
I'm
Pre-marketplace.
worried. Are you worried about the competitive aspect of this? Because I remember, especially in the early days of liquid staking on Cardano, for instance, things were getting proper brutal when with the node pool or the stake pool operators fighting for delegation.
I think it's an interesting thing. I know a lot of people are, when you build relationships within our community, some people are very, very loyal, almost tribal. So I think a lot of us who have been active from day one, helping people, there will be people who will, delegate to your node just for that reason. Beyond that, it is going to be interesting to see what the broader community does. I don't even know what to say on that. And, we don't really know how much we can really tweak things, but it sounds like it's going to be a lot. So I think, I think people like myself and Jordy and Stefanos will be okay, because, we've been helping, and Morris have been helping people since day one, right? It's going to be tough for the newer unknown node operators to get people delegating to them unless everybody else is full, or unless they're offering something, and it's hard to, it's going to be really interesting, because it's going to be tight to be able to offer enough rewards to keep people and pay for your service, because Morris knows the spec that we have to keep is pretty expensive. I don't know if you've found that, Morris, too, but so I don't know what your thoughts are, but you have experience in this too, so I'd like to hear what you have to say about that.
No, I follow you for a pretty big part, Tracer, but I think you have these licenses. You have the the mini licenses and the full licenses. So if you have a significant amount of COTI, you can run your node for yourself in principle. So if you hold 500,000 of COTI, then at least you can recover your cost of your nodes just by providing benefits to yourself. But if you don't hold a big bag of COTI, then you really need to shop around to get people into your node. And there you really need to work on your relationships. As you say, relationships is everything here. And that's for us one of the reasons why we started early, to get our name out there a little bit more, so that people know who we are, and if they have to choose, and your node is full and the other one is not full, and they have to choose, then they choose us. But the other thing I'm a little bit curious about is, I think in the beginning there will be less staking positions available than COTIs to be staked, because I would assume that a license will cost a considerable amount of money. I don't know in which range it will be. So I think in the starting period, it will be easy to fill up your node, because not everybody will take the step to invest in having a license. But if you get into that second phase, when it's a proven concept and people see that it's working, and now I will buy my license as well, suddenly there will be more places available to stake than COTI to be staked, and then it becomes a competition. And I think this first mover advantage is very important, besides the relationships which you need to have in place. And again, if you have enough COTI, there's no no issue here in my view, because you have
When
a
I
base.
interviewed Shahaf
Mhm.
a couple months ago, I kind of pressed him on node license cost. And I tried to like twist it as much as I could. And the most we could get out of him was he said that it wouldn't be a capital event, very, very cheap. So what is when you say it's
Okay.
going to be rather expensive, it's kind of like you're saying the opposite. So it's always hard to judge these things because one person's idea of cheap isn't another person's idea of cheap. So when you
Uh-huh.
say I think it might be expensive, care to just in COTI, how many tokens are you thinking maybe it might be? Just because he says it's
Yeah,
going to be cheap, 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 and you're saying it's going to be expensive. So I'd
I
like to
think
hear the inverse of that.
I would say it's just a guess, right? I would guess it would be somewhere around 20,000-30,000 COTI for a license, which if you would current value, that's what is it, 1,000, 1,500 US dollar. That's not something that everybody just wants to invest unless they have a real commitment and belief in the chain. So that's
And
where,
that's
because
and
if
that's
they
a
make
full
it,
license. You're saying
yeah,
full license, right?
that's what I
Okay.
what I feel, but I can be completely wrong here, because they need to sell it for a decent price, I think, because it's also an opportunity to get a lot of COTIs out of circulation by selling these licenses. So I would see that as a benefit from a COTI in circulation point of view. The more licenses are sold, um, the more COTIs taken out of circulation, and that will ease a little bit the FUD which is in the background as well. And if you do it too cheap, uh, I think you sell yourself short. But again, it's just my feeling here, Tracer.
Yeah, interesting.
I agree. I
It'll
agree
be
with
interesting to
Maurice
see.
on the pricing part. I think he's pretty spot on. That's my feeling on this too. Obviously, the token price of COTI between now and when the Nodes ecosystem launches could have an impact on it. But I think
Mhm.
dollar-wise, this is where we're going to be. And I think basically each, or at least this was the original idea. This might have been changed, but the original idea was that a full node license, if you want to delegate it, the person you delegate it to gives that person an extra 500,000 COTI that he can pick up in stakes from community members.
So I always wondered if the pricing hasn't been announced yet because it is going to be, I mean, obviously, but maybe they'll do it with it. Oh, he said, what did he say? They were working with somebody about this that are specifically involved with node licenses or sales. Anyways, you'd assume that they're going to price it in COTI, and maybe that's why they haven't announced how much it's going to cost, because they want to, denominate it in COTI.
Mhm.
But then why couldn't they tell us, roughly how much it would be in USD? I don't know. I guess we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, he definitely said that he was working with someone. Maybe it's Crafter. Maybe Jan is holding out on us here. But yeah, they were working with someone so that the whole launch of these node full licenses and light licenses was going to go as smooth as possible. So
It's Jordi.
Sorry,
It's Jordi.
Jordi. What's
It has
Jordi?
to be Jordi.
No, man. He said somebody who's like used to this kind of stuff, who specializes in it. But Jordy
I'm
is sneaky.
interested.
He's been working on stuff. He's you can't get anything out of that guy.
And Jordi like helped a lot of people set up nodes. So I don't know.
Well, what most notably is he helped Huobi set up their 2 nodes before they listed COTI, eh? He was like instrumental in that. Pretty cool.
He's a cool guy, Jordi. He's got a lot of little tricks up his sleeve. Right. So I'm going to take advantage of having Eli in Minnesota here as well. What's the score in the US in general? I saw the World Liberty Fi thing, the initial launch and the subsequent freezing of Justin Sun's wallet. It's been exactly the kind of Trumpian show we would have expected, isn't it?
Yeah, and that's, if you look at the price of things, with World Liberty, or they announced PIF the other day. There was, along with half a dozen or a dozen other projects, and the price went up and the price went down, and it's just the state of the market we're in right now. I did see that the SEC and the CFTC put out a statement that all existing projects, as long as they're not scams, are going to be grandfathered in of sorts. They're not securities. We got the market structure bill hitting the floor here pretty soon at the Senate. I think we're, just on track to finally get some rules and regulations in the United States. And as much as everybody else hates it, the United States kind of steers the ship as far as finances go.
It does. It was interesting, Eli. I saw it this morning, Coin Bureau, with a big, because basically the SEC has said, and the other agency that they sort of work in tandem with, they've said that tokenized stocks are still going to be securities.
Which they are.
Oh, why? And I'm thinking, what?
That has nothing. Yeah.
It's just a different wrapper. Yeah. Why should it still not be a security?
Right. I don't. Many of you guys didn't follow the XRP lawsuit, but Ripple, if they would have tokenized, sold Bitcoin along with those contracts they had, those Bitcoin would not have been a security, but the package that they wrapped all that up in was a securities transaction. And I see a lot of big names, just have zero idea about securities laws, but everybody's an expert when you hit Twitter. So, it's the packaging of that process. Whether it was XRP was sold, they could have sold COTI along with that. We're gonna give you this much COTI, and we're gonna do these things to increase the value as long as you buy, this contract. We have a written contract. We're packaging it up, and COTI is the instrument we're going to transfer that wealth with. Okay, well that means that in that transaction itself is the security.
Yeah.
It doesn't make the token itself the security.
It doesn't make the token a security, and
right.
Similar with the tokenized stock. The stock is a security already. Now you wrap it in a slightly different way. It doesn't make it anything other than a security. So I thought that was quite interesting that everyone seemed to be up in arms about that. Yeah,
and it just I've been in XRP long enough that I just roll my eyes until I have a stroke. Some of these people's takes on what's a security, what's not a security, how it makes it a security. And in this administration, I think we're in for a change of how everything works. The security laws of the United States are way too out of date. They're written in the 30s. And we just, the technology allows for things to change. And I think that's going to be, good. I think we're going to have a little more clarity in the metals markets and, stock markets. You're naked shorting, like from GameStop type situation is going to be harder to do. I just think we're going to actually see some cleaning up of all the finances. And this is going to be a process. Everybody expects it to happen overnight. I mean, we're talking, a decade-long process that just begins now. I think we're a long way away from actual adoption. And everybody, last cycle there, I don't know, pick a project was going to change the world. Look how much they're changing the world today. Well, I mean, they're all test beds. Everything we're doing is a test bed right now. Yeah. And I don't think everybody fully understands that. It's moving a lot faster than it used to, and it's moving in the right direction. But I agree with you. There's still a long way to go. We're coming up to the sort of end of the program today. So we can start with you, Eli. When alt season? I think we're gonna see this next rate cut. I noticed that half a point is on the table now, where 2 weeks ago there was no rate cuts on the table. I mean, we just barely talked about a quarter point maybe. Now serious discussions at a quarter point. I think there's probably, if you're looking at the credit card debt, housing debt, car loan debts, this is just the United States, and it's happening all over the world though. You know, you have commercial real estate debts piling up. There's a lot of job layoffs that are being hidden. I think that unfortunately we're probably going to see an massive emergency rate cut here in the near future. They're going to try and get ahead of it now. And when you do that, they're going to start putting money into all the markets to try and keep them afloat. And I think that's when our alt season happens. Is you know, the run up to panic is what we're going to see.
Yeah. You have any opinion, Jan?
No, I don't know, man, because I'm just a developer. I'm not like a trader or a technical analysis. So I don't know. Just when pump. Well, yeah, I guess the sooner the better. But I'm just a believer on what COTI is currently building. So yeah,
you're just like me. I don't have an opinion on it either. I try to listen to smart people to educate myself. What are your thoughts, Minnesota?
I think minus a black swan event or anything like that. Whenever the market makers decide it's alt season, I think.
Does U.S.
I think they have
democracy to Venezuela? Does that count as a black swan event in your mind?
No.
Good.
No.
I think it could. You know, if the United States, we haven't had a real U.S. incursion in this side of the hemisphere. It's been a long time.
It's been a while since you've been on a proper scrap, hasn't it?
It has. I mean, usually we take this to countries far, far away. So having a little close to home, it's going to be weird.
What, Falkland Islands last time close to home?
Yeah.
I think last time,
I guess
the last adventure in that part of the world was the pineapple guy, Pineapple Face, Noriega.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. We had Grenada for half a day, I think.
Yeah. But whenever the market makers decide,
do you consider those events to be black swan events or just the usual geopolitical uncertainty?
Yeah. No, they're not black swans.
Yeah.
And you, Maurice,
I think that the black swan.
Go on, Eli.
I was going to say, I think the black swan event is something that we actually see coming with the financial turmoil that we have. You know, it's brewing, and they keep trying to hide it. I think that black swan event is already staring us in the face. You know, and people that are paying attention can see it. It's just for everybody else, it's going to be fine. You know, stock markets are all-time high. Everything's going good. Yeah. You know, even though in the United States we have.
I think the stock market's overpriced the percentage-wise higher than it was during the dot-com bubble, is what I saw.
Yeah, and we're at the great level, Great Depression levels, but we didn't have the money printer that we have now during the Great Depression. So I don't think they're going to have that. I've been expecting a $70 trillion debt in the United States by the end of the decade, give or take a couple years. And, stock market collapsing is one way to definitely have that happen. They'll print like crazy to try to save everybody's, dollar value, while they diminish the actual real world value in it.
True. So, what are your thoughts, Maurice?
Well, difficult to predict. It will come one day or the other, but we are patient and we have time for it to happen. So I guess this year something will happen, but if not, it will come.
Patience is indeed the name of the game.
Like that.
Yeah. Your thoughts, Monsieur Tresa?
I don't give thoughts on stuff like this. It's not my rap, man. Not at all.
Good. But I'll let you round it off then, because that's certainly your rap.
Well, I guess I'll open it up to anybody who, beyond, black swans and rate cuts and stuff like that, if there's anything else that anybody wanted to touch on, I'll leave the floor open for a minute here. And you guys can kind of say your goodbyes or bring up whatever you thought we missed.
Huge thanks to Maurice, to Eli, to Jan, and to Minnesota for coming on today. You guys are absolutely amazing. It's, for me at least, it's been a great all-round discussion about all sorts of things, and particularly Maurice's talk about how to DeFi your NFT projects. Very inspiring stuff.
Thank you.
Appreciate you guys.
Yeah, Morris, that was awesome. Thanks, man.
Thank you.
And I'm happy
Well-
with my NFT.
Good. Lazy Beach Dave.
Yeah, I love the beach, man.
Yeah, lazy beach day. Well, thank you for coming, Jan. I know that we're all anxiously awaiting Crafters Marketplace. I think it's going to be really fun. He sent me some sneak peeks, and as always, it's beautiful, just like the Crafter app interface is. So thank you for coming to talk to us. Nice to finally meet you, Morris, and welcome anytime to talk about your projects. And I guess that's it for us from episode 31. It's been a couple weeks that we've been off, but I think we're back now, Soren, every week.
We're back, baby.
Depending on what comes down the pipe. So this is us from coast to coast and around the world. Thank you for being here for COTI Connect number 31. Oh, man. COTI Confidential number 31. I knew that was going to happen one day. You know what I mean? Slipped up. All right, guys.
Thanks.
See you next week.
See you next week, guys. Stay Cody.
There, Bruce.
First the wall, then the gate, then the door with no key. A nation restricted, now we're breaking free. Mr. Peace, yeah, the puzzle incomplete. Now the picture's coming clear, feel the heat on the beat. USA in the game, joining the stage. COTI Treasury flipping the page. APY, they screaming loud, lock it up, 1-to-1, make the crowd proud. Locked in, don't let it slip. 1-to-1, baby, tighten the grip. Finally we share what they kept away. APY shining like a brand new day. Locked in, don't let it slip. 1-to-1, baby, tighten the grip. Yeah. Chains turn to links, yeah, the math is real. Feel the number spin, this is the deal. Open doors, no disguise. Future's here, it's in your eyes. USA in the game, joining the stage. COTI Treasury flipping the page. APY, they screaming loud, lock it up, 1-to-1, make the crowd proud. Locked in, don't let it slip. 1-to-1, baby, tighten the grip. Finally we share what they kept away. APY shining like a brand new day. Locked in, don't let it slip. 1-to-1, baby, tighten the grip. APY shining like a brand